Hi, boys and girls. I found this on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I found this as something so cool that I'm going to show you how to make a toolbox with all these easy directions that we have here. Now, you're going to need some crayons, some glue, scissors, and of course, put it all together. So let's begin with that. We're going to make a toolbox and we're going to put it all together. So the toolbox, you have a sheet like this. That's the toolbox. Then you have the awesome tools. If you want me to put it this way or this way. But you have a hammer, a wrench, a screwdriver, and a saw. Okay? And that's what we're going to put inside the toolbox. And these two are the pieces that we're going to put together. So, since I don't have any crayons, I'm going to use marker. Okay? And I'm going to show you how cool this could be. Right? Because the first thing it tells you is to color. Tells you to what? Color. So let's lower our camera here and start coloring. I like to use the chisel of the marker. It's much easier to color. So when you're coloring inside, you try not to go outside. And once you get the grip of coloring, you tend to be a little bit better at putting it in a color mode that's much faster. So it's red because that's what it was saying. But let's say you don't like red. Let's say you like blue. Or let's say you like purple. Or maybe you're the girl who loves pink. And why not have a pink toolbox? Your toolbox can be any color you want. It does not have to be red. It has to be colored. So that's why I chose red, because it kind of shows better at a long distance. It's a bright color. You know, red is something that when we color, it comes out from a far distance much more prettier. So we're going to color this, and I left the circles of this in white because you can make it look like if they were nails that we're putting together the toolbox. And I can also say is it something that I can do? Coloring also is a good therapy for relaxing. It actually helps you to relax, to focus. and really do a good job. So, now that I finished this part, I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to continue with the other part right here. So this one I'm going to do it a little different. Because I tend to go a little faster this way than I do the the other way. And so I'm trying to do my best to get this done. So now I go a little faster. And by the way, you can color this whichever way you want, but you have to make sure that you are coloring it. Sometimes one way works better than the other. And you know, everything doesn't have to be perfect. But the more you practice, the better you get at this. Alright, so we have already that first part colored. Now, I'm going to put this to the side to dry. And we're going to use the coloring for the tools. Now, tools can be multicolored, although the suggestion was to go with gray. I like to go with different colors so that you can see them. So, I'm going to take brown and I'm going to use it for the handle of the screwdriver. I mean, they come in different colors, but I like it in a way that it should be. And that's the handle. I don't need to color this because this will be metal, but if you are up to coloring it and making it look a little more weird, go for it. Now I'm going to go, that was the screwdriver. I'm going to go now with the saw. And again, it could be any color you want. This is up to you. So, this is looking much better. And again, I'm not going to color the metal of the saw because it's supposed to go gray and I don't have gray. I have this color. So let's not take it too seriously. Right? The next tool is the wrench, and we're going to make this green. So when you're coloring, make sure that you're staying in between the lines. You're not coloring outside of it. Okay? Good. Now, see how that looks? Now we're going to the hammer. And I think hammers would look nice with a wood color. Yeah, I think wood would look better in brown. Oh, and this is black. Oh well, I did it in black. There's black wood anyway. Yeah, there's some handles that are black. It doesn't have to be wood, but most of them are wood. But now that I remember, one of my hammers here at home is completely black on this part. Now, the saw is used for cutting the wood, like we said in the song. Saw the wood, saw the wood. And the hammer is for hammer the nails, hammer the nails. But the screwdriver is to screw in the screws or what you're looking to put together, and the wrench is also to tighten them up, both here and down here. Alright, so we finished our second page, which are the tools, and now we're down to the toolbox again. Now, this part of the toolbox, I took this red one just because I want to spice it up a little bit. I didn't want to continue with red. I wanted to break it into other colors for you to have options to choose from. So your toolbox does not have to be red. Okay? I'm using red because I'm trying to put the other parts together. Okay? Now we do the red part over here. So I'm going to use this bold one because it covers more. And the reason why I don't get out of the line, it makes a perfection. When you go to constructions, especially the painter, um, the mason who works with bricks, and the engineer, they try to be as precisely as perfect as possible, because what happens with this is that one little mistake and your whole, if it's a house, will come down and crumble down. So one little mistake and this toolbox may not have what it needs, which is tools. See? And we're getting there a little faster. It'll make some squeaky noise, but don't worry. If you're using crayons, it doesn't make that. And it's good to color. I mean, coloring is a very relaxing therapy. Some people love to paint. Okay? Now that we finished coloring, now we get to cut. So with your scissors, open, close, cut on the black line. This is a fun activity about buildings. It's what construction workers, it's what engineers, mechanics, and all other sorts of people do. We're putting this to the side. We're going to bring back our rectangles. I like to do it this way. Then I flip it over. Okay, it's very important that you know and you learn how to cut. All right, and now we are down to the tools. So to make it easier, I cut them into pieces because it goes faster, look. And you tend to have a better grip of what you're cutting. Imagine if you had this whole paper with your little tiny hands that I know, it wouldn't be easy. Okay? And then you have to learn how to move the paper so that the picture can come out. And there goes the hammer. Wrench. I know it's taking us a while to do this, but if you have nothing to do, why not do this? You can do this, you can do anything. So tools are very important because tools help us bring everything together. There goes your wrench. Here goes the saw. Now, I know this part is not easy for certain people. For me, it is, because I've been cutting for such a long time. But if you find it difficult to cut the teeth, leave some space. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's just harder, and you have to master the cutting. You see how I move it? I'm not cutting the whole thing. I'm just moving my scissor according to the way the edges of the saw are. And because the edges of the saw are pointy, I gotta make sure I get it, right? Right. So, now that I'm at the end, you see? Now I can go straight across like this. Okay? And finally, but not least, is the screwdriver. So this is how we do it. Turn it around. And there you go. So, I'm bringing all the tools together because I have a lot of scraps and I need some space. So, if I follow the directions here, it says to color, then it says to cut. Now I'm going to paste. So I'm going to use glue to paste on my toolbox, on my tools on my toolbox. So this is my toolbox. Okay. So we need a hammer. You flip your hammer on the other side and you press some glue. You don't have to put a lot. If you press it hard, you're going to have some blob, and we don't need a blob. Okay? There goes my hammer. Then we have the wrench. Okay. Now you take it with your two hands and you flip it. Okay. And then you press. Now we're going with the screwdriver. Pick up your screwdriver, you flip it, you stick it. Right. So my saw is here. So this is what it looks so far. Doesn't it look cute? I'm beginning to like this. So the last thing you're going to glue is this part right here. Okay? I didn't put it on this side because I'm only gluing the edge of the toolbox. Okay. This is what a toolbox looks like. Ta-da! I hope you liked it. You can make one too. So go ahead, do it. Have fun with it. Okay? Remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.